Raider Nation, what is going on? Coming into week 5 right now for the Las Vegas Raiders. You guys know who we're playing. It was one of the first games that you looked at to see when we were playing them, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. And while we're talking about the Chiefs, if you're a Chiefs fan, go ahead and feel free. You can click off this video because you're not going to want to watch it. I'll tell you what, you're not going to want to hear what I have to say about your quarterback here later in this video. But here we are, sitting 2-2 as the Las Vegas Raiders, and we're looking for a bounce-back game. What better team to bounce back against than the Kansas City Chiefs? Yeah, we're a little banged up. Yeah, we're going to get into that. But it doesn't mean don't count us out. Don't count us out. Last time you counted us out, Monday Night Football, New Orleans Saints, we can make some stuff happen. Looks like we can get some players back. Like I said, we're a little banged up, but we can get some players back. We're going to see what happens. Let me tell you guys, if you guys are in Las Vegas watching this game or finding a place to watch this game, make sure you visit Stage Door Casino in Las Vegas. It's right there off of Flamingo Boulevard. You'll see it. It's right off the strip. Perfect place to go. Stage Door Casino is, in my opinion, I'll call it the official Raider Nation bar, but it is the unofficial bar for Raider Nation to go to, hang out. It's perfect. I mean, it has the silver and black vibe, and you're going to have a good time. So that's my 2 cents. It's the number one place to go to watch the football game. Stage Door Casino in Vegas. I'll be back there November 22nd, the next time we play the Chiefs to do a party. So if you guys are planning a trip to Vegas sometime this year, shoot for November 22nd. I'll be there. So, like I said, Raiders, Chiefs, week 5. We need to bounce back. Trying to take this rivalry to the next level and get them off their throne. So let's get into it. Same way I always start this video is with the injury report. Oh man, the Raiders injury report is not fun to talk about. We had 13 players practice on a limited basis or less. That's not counting Rodney Hudson, Jason Witten, and they had like a Veterans Day off, of course. But one good thing I will say, Henry Ruggs returned to practice, not full, but limited, but it's a start. It's getting there. I don't think the Raiders would have them practicing at all if they weren't progressing forward, especially whenever it comes to a speedy wide receiver in his hamstring. I don't think he'd be out there at all. So I see Henry Ruggs as a good chance to play on Sunday. Of course, that's without, any setbacks. Trent Brown as well made a surprise appearance. A little short appearance. He was only there kind of during the stretching period, the beginning. He didn't go through any drills or anything crazy, but he was out there. He was suited up and had his helmet on, and he went through some stretching, did his thing, which that's, progression as well. I still have my doubts with everything. Make sure he's in game shape before he gets on the field, and we'll see how that progresses. But Henry Ruggs and Trent Brown seeing a little action on Wednesday is a good thing. Last week, getting Kwiatkowski back is nice. Seeing him back on the injury report, not having a setback is even better. So having our green dot linebacker ready to go, most likely week 5, just about 100%, is going to be big time for us. We saw a little step forward, of course, in the run game, but that's because we're getting attacked in the air. I tried to say it last week. I'm not sure if I ever said it on record, but we're looking forward to our secondary, kind of being the highlight of our team. But in the same breath, it's because the week before they didn't test our secondary. Our secondary hasn't been tested, and as we saw, they were a little lost. So still no Bryan Edwards. We got Henry Ruggs back, but still no Bryan Edwards. Of course, you still have Richie Incognito on IR. You still have Damon Arnett on IR. Jalen Richard is now dealing with a little bit of a nagging ankle injury. I still see him as, of course, there's no probable, but I would see him maybe as probable to play on Sunday. I'd like to see him get out there on the field. Good chance. He has this nagging ankle injury, and he's out there practicing on Wednesday. I see that as a good thing. Malik Collins seems like he had a pretty good setback with his shoulder last week, and there's a chance I don't see him playing much. And normally right now, I think if under normal circumstances, I'd say, okay, not a big loss, because you know what? Mo Hurst has stepped up. Mo Hurst is, in my opinion, the brightest spot on our defense right now, aside from like Trayvon Mullen. But Mo Hurst decides, I guess, luck isn't on his side, and he ends up on the COVID list. And it sounds like it was a positive test, so we're going to see what that turns into. whether it was a false positive, maybe he's asymptomatic. We'll see what he gets through. But I would expect him to miss Sunday, unfortunately. I would expect him to miss Sunday for sure. Let's hope it's just 1 week. Big Mo Hurst was coming in clutch. And like I said, he was the one dude that was getting a lot of pressure up the middle. And that's going to be a big loss for us Sunday. Big time loss for us Sunday. We still have Rico Gafford, LaMarcus Joyner, Nevin Lawson, Keyshawn Nixon, Darren Waller, Sam Young, all practiced on a limited basis. Absolutely wild. This injury report is kind of nuts right now. Having, a 20-person injury report basically is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Seeing players like, even Hunter Renfrow playing through injury, Josh Jacobs dealing with his hip. Josh Jacobs still practicing in full. Shout out to Josh Jacobs, man. The dude is an absolute beast. I think this is a game where he's getting into now. He should be close to 100%. The way he's been practicing, the way he played last week, he should be close to 100%. So I'd like to see a breakout game here, of course, this week with the Kansas City Chiefs, and we'll get more into that. Now, whenever you flip over to the other side of the ball and look at the other injury report, you got 2 freaking players that ended up on, playing limited Wednesday. 2 players. 2. Nuts. Health is a big factor in the NFL. Of course, the Kansas City Chiefs are already good. They could probably sacrifice a few bodies anyways, but they're not. So they're playing at the ultimate high level since they're not losing any weapons whatsoever. Kind of sucks. Chris Jones, to me, is the only person that matters that popped up on the injury report. And that's just what we're dealing with. The Kansas City Chiefs are coming in here at full strength. And it is what it is. So we're going to get into, I guess, a little bit of a game breakdown and what I would say would be the keys to this game. In Kansas, if you're here, Chiefs Kingdom, if you're here and you're a Chiefs fan, you made it this far and you didn't listen to me at the beginning of the video, here it is. I'll tell you straight up. I think a key for the defense, of course, is to contain Patrick Mahomes, but I don't even think Patrick Mahomes is as elite as everybody says. I think he's a little mediocre himself. I think he's a product of the system. I think Andy Reid has that offense dialed in to let Patrick Mahomes do his thing. He's wide open, send wide receivers down the field. You don't have to worry of a dirty pocket. Yeah, he can scramble if he wants to, break free. Everyone's downfield. How do you contain that? Rush 4 guys and everybody deep. You have no linebackers to worry about because you're just trying to cover all those fast wide receivers. Patrick Mahomes has the easiest job in the NFL right now. I don't care if he's the reigning MVP or has a Super Bowl title. I think he's mediocre. And I think we have a chance of beating him on Sunday. All right, the mediocre joke. I'm joking. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He's good. He's got some weapons around him. Patrick Mahomes can go out there and he can throw the ball. He can sling it kind of any direction he wants to. So it's going to be up to our defense and the struggling Paul Gunther right now to be able to stop this guy. I'm not really sure how we're going to do that. I really don't. I like to think in the back of my head, hey, maybe the secondary is sacrificing the good game plan so we can come into Kansas City and do their thing. Hopefully we can piggyback enough off of what New England was doing for a long enough time. But what's scary about this team is all they take is it's 1 or 2 big plays to go in and change the entire pace of the game. So for me, it's contain Mahomes is number 1. Don't let him. No game-breaking plays. And then now we just got to stay disciplined on defense. This is going to be number 2 for me, keys to the game on defense. Stay disciplined because the Kansas City Chiefs last year not only were the first fastest ball carrier speed, according to next-gen stats, but they had the most pre-snap motions. Along with the 49ers, another Super Bowl team, they had the most pre-snap motions. And it's not just that. All the fake jet sweeps, all these wide receivers, running backs just crisscrossing. You never know. Woo! Like I said, woo, my microphone wasn't even ready for it. Just going back and forth all over the place. Like you never know. He's shoveling passes to tight ends like in weird scenarios. There's just people all over the backfield that you can't even account for, that you never know where the ball is going to go. You never know where it's going to end up. We saw it a little bit last week. Of course, with the Bills, but nobody does it like the Chiefs. So hopefully we're going to be on our A game, and hopefully we can stay disciplined. Don't jump off sides. Don't over-pursue like we've been doing. Stay patient. Do your job. Fill your gap. And don't leave the other side wide open when you think the ball is going one way. And I would say the biggest factor, since we've had one player that is either a super all-star or a guy that comes up on the what are you doing list, and that's Jonathan Abram. And I want him to be laser-focused, locked in. Don't over-pursue, because that's what he's kind of been getting bit for a little bit. Stay patient, be ready, contain a little bit, play protective football, and get out there and be ready to run downhill at the ball carrier and not just where you think the ball is going. So that's where I sit on the defense. Offense. I got two things, and I'm going to wrap this video up. Don't turn the ball over. It's time, Raiders. We need to be able – we're not going to win the turnover battle on defense necessarily. If we get a turnover, awesome. I think we're definitely capable of it. 2, maybe. But to win the turnover battle for us, we got to hold on to it on offense. We can't be leading the league in fumbles. We can't be doing that. I think DC's obviously going to be working on his pocket presence whenever it comes to holding on to the football. I think Darren Waller has that in the back of his head. Obviously, Josh Jacobs had a big fumble a couple of weeks ago. I think this is a priority for this offense and the main weapons. Hold on to that football. And to me, speaking of Josh Jacobs, I think we need to establish the run now. The Chiefs are going to be keyed on it. I mean, that's going to be their number one priority is to stop our run. But I don't think there's any reason why we can't do it anyways. So, John Gruden, it's time to get creative. It's time to get the ball into your playmakers' hands, your biggest playmakers. I don't care what's going on. You get that ball in their hands, and we set the tone early. And we control the pace. We control the clock. We control the time of possession. And we keep the ball to Patrick Mahomes' hands. Simple enough, right? I've never woke up on game day and thought the Raiders could lose a football game. Always expect them to win any given Sunday. So, Raider Nation, get ready, get fired up. Hit like if you think the Raiders are going to win this football game. Subscribe because we're going live with a post-game show after every single game. Every week we do a preview, and we go live after every single game as soon as the game is over. So, subscribe, hit your bell notifications, and be ready. Oh, also, I'm re-upped with Manscaped. So, if you want to find some besties for your testes, visit manscaped.com using promo code RaiderCody. But other than that, let's do this thing, Raider Nation. We're in it. It's time to bounce back. No better way to do it than with the biggest division rival that we've had in the last 5 years. So, buckle up. It's going to be a wild weekend. And all I can say is, just win, baby. See ya.